Sons and Daughters of God, Daily Devotional by Ellen G. White. August. We glory in the cross of Christ. We see Christ on the cross. August 1st. Christ to be lifted up. And it was the third hour, and they crucified him. Mark chapter 15, verse 25. The spotless Son of God hung upon the cross, his flesh lacerated with stripes. Those hands so often reached out in blessings, nailed to the wooden bar. Those feet so tireless on ministries of love, spiked to the tree. That royal head pierced by the crown of thorns. Those quivering lips shaped to the cry of woe. And all that he endured. The blood drops that flowed from his head, his hands, his feet, the agony that racked his frame, and unutterable anguish that filled his soul at the hiding of his Father's face, speaks to each child of humanity, declaring, "It is for thee that the Son of God consented to bear this burden of guilt. For thee he spoiled the domain of death and opened the gates of paradise. He offered himself upon the cross as a sacrifice, that this from love to thee, and this from love to thee. He, the sin bearer, endured the wrath of divine justice, and for thy sake became sin itself." In silence, the beholders watched for the end of the fearful scene. The sun shone forth, but the cross was still enveloped in darkness. The priests and rulers looked forward towards Jerusalem, and lo, the dense cloud had settled over the city and the plain of Judea. The Sun of Righteousness, the light of the world, was withdrawing his beams from the once favored city of Jerusalem. The fierce lightnings of God's wrath were directed against the fated city. Suddenly the gloom lifted from the cross, and in clear trumpet-like sounds that seemed to resound throughout creation, Jesus cried, "It is finished. Father, into thy hands I commend my spirit." A light encircled the cross, and the face of the Saviour shone with glory like the sun. He then bowed his head upon his breast and died. This is your daily devotion. We thank you for listening. We hope you can join us again tomorrow. Please also check the YouTube comments for further study notes. Sons and Daughters of God,